Hi dear students, I hope you all are fine at your home as usual. Again I am here with you to teach the rest of the chapter. Before starting a new section, let's recall what we had studied in our previous class. Do you remember what we had studied in our previous class? Yes, we just start our third chapter, the resistance in the first war of independence. What did we study in that chapter? What will we studied? Yes, we studied about the exploitation made by the Britishers to Nagodas. Exploitation made by the Britishers to Nagodas. Do you remember who were Nagodas? Who were Nagodas? Yes, Nagodas were the sericulturalist people of Bengal. The living condition of the Nagodas were so miserable. Which are the conditions they existing that society? Tell me, which are the conditions? Yes, in previous class we studied about the exploitation made by the Britishers to Nagodas. There are 5 strategies adopted by the Britishers to exploiting the maximum resources of Nagodas. Tell me. Yes, they levy heavy taxes on farmers. No tax concession even when sanctioned drought or flood destroyed sectors. The middleman, zamindars, has to be paid to sell tax. Then tax was to be paid in the form of cash. The money lenders, sahus, the farmers depended on money lenders, that means the sahus. Today we discuss more about the Nagodas. Okay? We already learned that the Britishers exploited in many fields. The first one is farmers, against farmers. Against farmers. The company identified that the fertile field of Bengal were much favorable for the growth of commercial crops like cotton, jute and indigo. Cotton, jute and we already know that Bengal is the finest place of agriculture. The company exploited the maximum resources in Bengal and they cultivated the commercial crops in Bengal like cotton, jute and indigo. These are the major raw materials. These are the major raw materials crops in the industries in England. Consequently, the farmers ready to force to cultivate these items like cotton, jute, indigo. The field that were used only for the cultivation of the plantation of the food crops changed in the plantation of cotton, jute and indigo. The people, the farmers changed the cultivation, changed the food cultivation and they cultivated the commercial crops like cotton, jute and indigo. As a result, the farmers become landless and were forced to become the laborers. We already studied that the company's first exploitation was against the farmers. For the exploitation, company adopted 5 strategies. And in Bengal, the cultivation of food crops changed in the commercial crops to cultivate the commercial crops, that is cotton, jute and indigo. Okay? Next, after the exploitation of farmers, the company's second exploitation was against tribals. Next exploitation was against tribals. The life of the tribals was centered among the forest. They lived in forest areas. Tribals were lived in forest area. But the company exploited the maximum resources in the forest area and they constructed so many railways and roads in tribal areas, in forest area. The second exploitation of company against the tribals, their life was centered among the forest. The company exploited the maximum resources in tribal forest area and they constructed so many roads and railways in forest areas. These measures intensified the miseries of the tribal groups. So, the company exploited the maximum resources in forest area. Tribals were lived in forest and the company exploited the maximum resources in forest area and they constructed, the East India Company constructed in forest. What is constructed in forest? Yes, railways and roads. They constructed railways and roads in forest area. They lived in forest. The company exploited the forest resources and they construct so many roads and railways in forest area. These measures intensified the miseries of the tribals. The next exploitation, that is against the weavers. Against the weavers. Next exploitation of company against the weavers. India is commonly rich in, very famous in cotton cultivation. In previous years, in 18th and 19th century, India is quite famous in cotton cultivation. Quite famous in cotton cultivation. But later periods, India began to decline in cotton cultivation. What are the reason for the decline of cotton cultivation in India? The most of the peoples in India the main occupations are engaged in weaving. They are very popular in the cotton cultivation. But gradually the cotton cultivation began to decline in India. What are the reasons? I just show a chart for you. The reason that, next, what are the reasons for the decline of handloom industries in India? The first reason, that is the large scale export of cotton, the raw materials of handloom industries to Britain. The large scale export of cotton, the raw material of handloom industry to Britain. This was the first reason that the decline of handloom industries in India. The large scale export of cotton, the raw material of handloom industry to Britain. The second reason, that is the large scale import of cheaper textile manufacture in the British factories. The large scale import of textiles manufactured in the British factories. The third reason, the excessive tax were levied on clothes made in India. High tax was paid. High tax were levied on the clothes made in India. These factors rendered thousands of India weavers jobless. So, I already say that there are the exploitation of company, different fields of peoples like farmers, weavers and tribals. The last one, that is for against the weavers. There are different ways the company exploited weavers. The first way, that is the large scale export of cotton, the raw material of handloom industry to Britain. In India, the large amount of cotton were exported to Britain, the factories, to industries of the Britons. And the next reason, that is the large scale import of cheaper textile manufactured in the British factories. A lot of cheaper goods were, cheaper rates of goods were import in British factories, British goods in Indian factories. The next, third, the excessive taxes were levied on clothes made in India. In India, the excessive tax was to be paid, levied on clothes made in Britain. Okay, these are the 3 points for the decline of handloom industries in India. Okay, all of you take your note and write a question. What are the main reason for the decline of handloom industries, decline of handloom industry in India? What are the main reason that decline the handloom industry to England in India? Okay. Next we studied about the uprisings of the people in India against the company rule. Uprisings of the people against the company rule. Next we studied about the uprisings of the people against the company rule. Uprising of the people against we already studied that the different type of people like farmers, weavers, tribals were completely exploited under the company rule. So the people put their agitation against the company. These were the major occupational groups in India. These were the major occupational groups in India. And these people lost their livelihood. We already studied that in Bengal, the finest people is agriculturalists. So the peoples, living conditions, lost their living condition, and the living condition is lost it. As a result, the company rule. These peoples lost their livelihood as a result of the company rule. So these people started rebellions against the company and zamindars and the middleman of the company rule. So most of the peoples like farmers, weavers, tribals were started rebellions or revolt against the company. Not only company but also the company's zamindars, the middleman of the company rule. So all the people were started rebellion or revolt against the company rule. There are so many agitation can be seen against the company rule. There are so many agitation started. We can see in India, all the parts of India. Okay, the first rebellion, that is peasant revolt, started at the very beginning of the company rule. In India, the first revolt, that is peasant revolt. At the very beginning, there are so many peasant revolt started against the company rule. In 19th century, several rebellions broke out in Malabar region. In 19th century, there are so many peasant revolts started in Malabar region. It was led the Mappila tenants to this rebellion. So this rebellion is known as Mappila rebellion. Okay? Okay, in 19th century, a lot of peasant revolt started in Malabar region. Several peasant revolts started in Malabar region. So this rebellion in Malabar area is started in Mappila tenants. So this rebellion is known as Mappila rebellion or Malabar rebellion. Mappila rebellion or Malabar rebellion. Because in 19th century, in Malabar region, there are so many peasant revolt were started. The main initiatives of the rebellion, that is Mappila tenants. So this rebellion is known as Mappila rebellion or Malabar. This rebellion is occurred, started in Malabar region. So this rebellion is known as, or revolt is known as Malabar rebellion. Okay, Mappila rebellion, the same also known as Malabar rebellion. Okay, then in similar condition, there are uprising, there are so many agitations put forward, burst on Bengal region. There are so many peasant revolt. The similar condition, there are so many peasant revolt were started in Bengal region. Bengal farmers were started so many rebellions. So this rebellion in Bengal region is known as Faresi rebellion. Faresi rebellion. In Bengal region, a lot of peasant revolt were started in that time, in 19th century. So this rebellion is known as Faresi rebellion. Faresi rebellion. It was a peasant revolt in the same condition, in the same period in Malabar rebellion. In Bengal, the peoples in peasants started a rebellion and it is called Faresi rebellion. Okay, all of you understood? In 19th century onwards, the peoples like farmers, weavers, tribals, etc. were put forward their agitation against the company rule. And the people lost their livelihood as a result of the company. So the people started so many rebellions against the company and zamindars and the middlemen of the company rule. So the first rebellion, that is the peasant rebellion, the most of the rebellion started in Malabar region. So people in Malabar, Mappila tenants were started that rebellion. So this rebellion is also known as Mappila rebellion or Malabar rebellion. The same period in Bengal, the people of farmers also started some rebellions against the company rule. So this rebellion is known as Faresi rebellion. Okay, all of you understood? Okay, sense, but also there are so many tribals groups started, organized some rebellions. Which are they? In your textbook, page number 30, there are so many rebellions mentioned about the tribal groups. The first one is Kohils in Maratha, Bills in Maratha, the Kohils in Ahmednagar, Kohils in Chota Nagpur, Sandals in Rajmahal Hills, Kuruchias in Wayanad. Okay, I just write on the board the major tribal groups and let's start the organized rebellions against the company rule. Which are they? The first, that is Bills in Maratha, tribal groups. The first one is Bills in Maratha. Bills in Maratha, one of the important tribal group, and they organized it against the company rule, the rebellion, that is Bill in Maratha. The second, Kohils in Ahmednagar. Kohils in Ahmednagar. Then Kohils in Chota Nagpur. Then fourth one is Sandals in Rajmahal Hills. Then fourth one is Kuruchias in Wayanad. Okay. one of the important tribal group in Kerala, that is the Kurichas. They lived in the forest, Wayanad. So these are the major tribal groups in India. Bhils in Maratha, Kohils in Ahmednagar, Kols in Chota Nagpur, Sandals in Rajmahal Hills, and Kurichas in Wayanad. Okay? In a textbook, page number 30, one of the important tribal group, and they started the tribal rebellion, that is Sandals in Rajmahal Hill. Who were Sandals? Who were Sandals? Sandals were the inhabitants of the inhabited people in Rajmahal Hills, that is Bengal province. Sandals were the inhabitants of the Rajmahal Hills, that is Bengal provinces. They lived in Bengal provinces. The main reason for the Sandal rebellion, that is the exploitation of the company officials and the money lenders. That is the exploitation of the company officials and the money lenders. And it was the result of the British revenue policy. Okay? New textbook, one of the important tribal group against the company rule, that is the Sandal in Rajmahal Hills. They were the inhabitants of the Rajmahal Hills in Bengal province. One of the important reason that the rebellion, Sandal rebellion, that is the exploitation of the company rule and the money lenders. And it was against the British revenue policy. The Sandal rebellion is occurred against the company's revenue policy. There are 60,000 Sandals were participated in that rebellion. There are 60,000 Sandals were participated in rebellion. 60,000 Sandals were participated in the rebellion, and 50,000 Sandals were died, sacrifices in that rebellion. 50,000 were died in that rebellion. There are two important leaders started in rebellion. Their name is Kanhu and Sidhu. Sidhu and Kanhu are the two important leaders that started that rebellion. We already studied that in India, not only present revolt, but also there are so many agitation, there are so many revolts. So Sandal rebellions was the result of the company exploitation of money lenders and the company officials and the money lenders. There are 60,000 Sandals were participated in the rebellion, and 50,000 Sandals were died, sacrifices in that rebellion. Two important leaders are Sidhu and Kanhu. So all of you take a notebook and write a question. What are the discuss the circumstances. Discuss the circumstances that led by the Sandal rebellion. Okay? Discuss the circumstances that led by the Sandal rebellion. Today give a question already, that is, what are the reasons that declined the handloom industries in India? Okay? All of you remember? Yes. The next question, that is, discuss the circumstances that led by the Sandal rebellion. In that period, there are so many kings and chieftains who lost their power, and they started another groups and they led rebellions against the company rule. In that period, there are so many kings and chieftains who lost their power, and they started another groups led against the company, rebellion against the company rule. Some of them are, the names are Raja Chet Singh of Awadh, Veerapandya Kattabomman of Tirunelveli, Maruthu Pandyan of Shivaganga, Pazhassi Raja of Malabar, Kittur Channamma in Karnataka, and Veluthambi Dalava in Thiruvananthapuram. In that period, there are so many kings and chieftains who lost their power and started and they organized another groups. So fight against the company rule, and they started to fight against the company rule. In your textbook, page number 31, a list of kings and chieftains. The names are Raja Chet Singh of Awadh, Veerapandya Kattabomman of Tirunelveli, Maruthu Pandyan of Shivaganga, Pazhassi Raja of Malabar, Kittur Channamma of Karnataka, Veluthambi Dalava in Thiruvananthapuram. Okay, in the next class, we will discuss about the rebellions in Kerala. The main rebellions in Kerala. Okay, I think all of you understand in this section well. Today, I wind up my class. Thank you.